Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point. And today I am doing an introduction video to OWN's new show called Love and Marriage Huntsville. I wasn't sure if I was going to do recaps on this show because I am so tired, as I've said this before, tired of getting into these shows and then they get canceled or they're not renewed. And if you guys followed my recaps of Love Is, I love the show. I used to give like some controversial points on the show. But anyway, I was looking forward to season 2. It had been renewed and then some stuff happened behind the scenes with the creators of the show that caused Oprah to abruptly cancel the show. And so I was really upset because I had invested that whole season. But anyway, when I first looked at Love and Marriage Huntsville, I really wasn't feeling it. And then I said, okay, well, I'll give it another episode and see if I like it. I think they replayed the first episode like 3 or 4 times before the second episode ever aired. And so I didn't know what was going on. And I said, okay, well, let me wait and see exactly what the deal is. And so then when it was finally clear that it was a full season of shows, that I decided I would go ahead and recap it. And then also watching the first episode so many times, the show kind of grew on me and the people grew on me. So this first video is just an introduction video to tell us a little bit about the characters and what the show is about. So Huntsville is centered on 3 couples that live in Huntsville, Alabama. It is a reality TV show. And so evidently Huntsville is it's like up and coming, and there's like a real estate boom, you know, where they're building houses, and you know, the area is really growing. And I actually used to date a guy that was in the military at MacDill Air Force Base, and he was transferred actually I think he got a job with IBM. He was out of the military, I think, and he retired while we were dating. He got a job with IBM, and he ended up moving to Huntsville, or maybe he got I can't remember, it was so dang on long ago, but I do remember he spent some time in Huntsville, either working for IBM or as part of the military, but I really believe it was IBM that he was there for, and he was there for like a year. Back to this little introduction I'm doing. So the show follows these 3 couples who hope to kind of elevate themselves and give a different look of Alabama, because I know when I think of Alabama, I think of racism, I think of not really developed, I think of it's Tuskegee Institute that's in Alabama. I remember driving through Mobile. We stopped at a restaurant. Actually, that first time we stopped at the restaurant, my daughter was playing a tennis match in Mobile. So just little bits and pieces of Alabama, but for the most part, I'm driving through Alabama to get to Louisiana to go to Essence Fest. So these couples, you know, they share how they've made names for themselves in the business community as these real estate moguls, I guess, and how they had came up with this group called the Combat Group, which was going to use each of their expertise to build this real estate conglomerate, but it didn't really work out the way they wanted to the first time around. And so now they're going to give it another try. So the people on the show, and this was the other thing that turned me off about the show, was like everybody's name began with the M, okay? I was like, what is up with these M's? And then I was like, okay, is these 2 guys brothers? But then I later learned that it was the other 2 guys that were brothers. But we're going to be following the lives of Marsau and Letitia Scott, Melody and Martell Holt, and then soon to be married. And I think their marriage is actually going to take place on this season of the show, is Maurice Scott and Kimberly, who goes by Kimmy Grant. And so they're all, you know, these strong-willed individuals. They're ambitious. They're juggling business, relationships, their friendships, being parents, and trying to show that you can have it all if you just put in the hard work. So first up we have, I'm going to start with, so first up we have Martell and Melody Holt, who say that they are millionaires, that they have made millions of dollars in the real estate industry. And so they seem to be like the lead couple on the show. Like maybe it was Melody's idea to do this show. And so Martell is the CEO of Holt Custom Homes, and Melody is the CEO of Holt and Holt Enterprises, or something like that, entrepreneurship, something like that. And so they've been married for 10 years, and they have 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. And so their storyline seems to be one that, you know, they want to live the lifestyle of the rich and famous, and that there was some infidelity in their relationship that Melody is trying to overcome. And so I think we're going to hear a lot about that as the season goes along. And so they claim to have like this perfect marriage. And they, but we know it isn't perfect because we find out later that he cheats. But they want to be the example of, you know, teamwork, a couple working together, building an empire, and still, you know, being down to earth and likable and all of this good stuff. So they talk about, you know, how they're best friends and they work together and they balance each other out. You know, they're the yin to the yang, and that everybody should be looking up for them and looking up to them. And on this show, we also get to meet Martell's mother. And so just based on the mother, he may have grown up poor. And so we also get that rags to riches story thrown in. So next we go to Marcel and Letitia Scott. Now, these two right here, okay, they, I don't think people gonna like their relationship too much. So Marcel is a commercial general contractor, and Letitia is a commercial real estate developer, and she's also actually I think she's a real estate agent. Like she can sell, she has a license to buy and sell real estate. And so she's a stay-at-home mom. They've been married 12 years and together for 13 years, and they have 3 children. And so their story is that Letitia, you know, she's a college graduate. She's very smart, very business savvy, but she gave all of that up, you know, for her marriage. And so Marcel is has very chauvinistic opinions. He believes that the woman's place is in the home, taking care of the kids. There seems to be some discrepancy behind who said what and who agreed to what and why they agreed to it. And so their story is going to be that Letitia, you know, she has these 3 kids that range in age from 3 to, I want to say that boy is 12 years old, so maybe they got married because, no, maybe he's younger. He might be younger than that. But I know their youngest is 3, and the agreement was that she would be a stay-at-home mom until the youngest child turned 5 and was ready to go to school. And then she could re-enter the workplace, but she is ready to re-enter the workplace now. So their storyline is basically going to be this tug of war between her and Marcel, and her going into the workplace and declaring her independence, and how he's either going to have to let go of the reins, or he's going to have to hold on to the reins and pull her back in and hold her accountable for the agreement that she made, that she's now saying she didn't make, that she just wanted to stop arguing with him and give him what he wants. But she's ready to get out there and get her hands dirty and be the woman that she envisioned herself to be. And then it doesn't help that Melody is egging her on and pushing her on and telling her, don't listen to Marcel, girl. Live your life, live your best life, do all the things. You can have it all. You can be, you know, a mother, a wife, a businesswoman, you know, stake your claim and don't be paying Marcel any attention. So it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works out. And then last we have Maurice, who is the younger brother of Marcel, and then his fiance, Kimmy Grant. And I couldn't figure out if Kimmy was older than him, but the two of them have been together for 7 years, and Melody doesn't seem to like Kimmy, and so she's always making her little side remarks about Kimmy, and you can just tell that for whatever reason she's not feeling Kimmy. This is both of their second marriage, I believe. I know Maurice was married once before, because they joke about how he's a totally different person now, and that in his first marriage he was all into the church, he was a deacon, and now he's like this transformed person. And so Maurice is the owner of Credit One USA, a credit repair company, and he also holds a JD, or he's a JD candidate. He might still be in school. And then Kimberly, who goes by Kimmy, is a registered nurse by trade, but she's the executive director for a not-for-profit home health agency and practicing licensed real estate agent. So they've known each other for a little over 8 years, and like I said, they've been dating for 7 years, which Melody said that she would not put up with, and they get married on the show. So their whole children's situation, I had to write this down so I can get this right. So Kimmy has a son named Jalen from a previous relationship who attends Troy State University. And then they have another son, Maurice Jr., who is Maurice's son from a previous marriage, and he lives with his mom, and they only have him like on Christmas break and the summer holidays or something. And then his ex-wife, I got this right, has 2 daughters, and so even though him and the wife aren't together, he still, I guess, has a relationship with them and consider, them his daughters. Okay, so maybe Kimmy just has the one son, and then Maurice has the one biological son, and then the 2 daughters, I guess, that he considers to be his daughters. So, like I said, I watched the first 3 episodes. I'm going to recap them. The show has grown on me, so I am rooting for its success. And I hope you guys, if you haven't watched it, that you'll go ahead and give it a shot. And if you are watching it, let me know what you think about it. Leave your comments below, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And until the next time, I shall talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.